Hello everyone, welcome back to the Go Homemade channel. In today's video, we follow a man as he takes on the incredible challenge of building a house underneath a large boulder. What creative methods will he use? Watch and see the magic unfold as this incredible project becomes a reality. The location for the house is truly unique, with a massive rock above, serving as a natural shelter, and a sloping hillside stretching down below. The man knows that his first challenge is to create a flat, stable surface to build the house upon. He begins the challenging task by carefully digging holes along the edge of the hillside, just in front of the planned construction site. These holes are strategically placed to serve as anchor points for the sturdy wooden logs that will act as support posts. Each log is carefully planted into the ground, ensuring they are firmly secured and evenly spaced. But he doesn't stop there. Using the resources available in his environment, he starts stacking stones between the posts. The stones are meticulously arranged, one by one, to create a strong, interlocking barrier that connects the wooden posts together. This boundary not only serves as a visual and functional separation between the flat yard area and the sloping hillside below, but also plays a crucial role in stabilizing the terrain. He took a shovel and began to smooth out the yard. Every scoop of dirt was carefully dug up, moved, and spread. The slope of the hillside gradually transformed into a flat, usable area, seamlessly connecting with the newly established stone and wood boundary. In addition to leveling the yard, he began creating a path that ran along the side of the house and gently curved down the hillside. To define its edges, he placed sturdy logs as boundaries, ensuring the path remained structured and clean. He dug steps above and then carefully created a smooth trail down the hillside. On the other side of the path, he drives wooden posts into the ground, following the curve of the trail. These posts serve as the framework for a simple yet functional railing. To complete it, he weaves long, flexible vines between the posts, connecting them securely. The result is a natural, rustic handrail that not only enhances safety, but also blends beautifully with the surrounding landscape. He added small stakes, driven into the ground to prevent erosion right where the steps were. These stakes reinforced the structure and held the soil in place, ensuring that the steps and the surrounding terrain remained stable over time. He carefully places stones on the surface of the steps and along the pathway below, creating a solid, durable surface. The stones are arranged thoughtfully, not only to enhance the path's stability, but also to add a natural, rustic aesthetic. To finish preparing the upper yard, he begins the painstaking task of laying stones across the entire surface. Each stone is carefully selected and placed with precision, ensuring it fits perfectly with the others. He works slowly and thoughtfully, arranging the stones in a way that creates a flat, stable surface. The process involves checking for evenness and compacting the stones to form a solid foundation, making sure the entire area is leveled. He heads out to cut a large piece of wood, carefully selecting the perfect log for the task at hand. Once he brings it back, he begins the process of splitting the log into smaller sections, each one destined to become a sturdy leg for the bed frame. Using a sharp axe and steady hands, he splits the wood with precision, making sure each piece is strong and straight. He found more wooden planks. Using a saw, he cut the wood into 2 equal pieces, which would serve as the crossbeams connecting the bed legs. Carefully peel back the bark to reveal the smooth, clean surface underneath. With the beams shaped and sized perfectly, he secures them between the 4 wooden legs, creating a solid frame. He continued by carefully peeling the bark off the remaining pieces of wood, sawing the wood into sections exactly the same width as the bed. Once prepared, he began splitting them into smaller sections to create a strong and durable surface for the bed. These smaller, thinner pieces of wood are then carefully arranged side by side, fitting tightly together to form the surface of the bed. He then moves on to another project, crafting a simple yet sturdy chair. He begins by cutting 4 strong wooden legs, each carefully shaped to provide a solid foundation. After fastening the legs to the base, he placed small pieces of wood on top to make a seat. He continued to peel the bark off some of the timber, this time for a different purpose. These carefully prepared timbers will be used to frame the walls of the house. He worked diligently, shaping the timber to the correct dimensions, making sure each piece was smooth and free of imperfections. The wooden planks are carefully measured and placed with precision. One end of each plank is secured firmly into the ground, while the other is attached to the rock face above. He arranges the planks in such a way that the frame follows the natural contours of the massive stone above, shaping the walls to complement the rock's unique form. He made sure each piece of wood was securely fastened, using sturdy bolts and careful technique to fasten them to both the ground and the rock above. He continues by adding notches to the horizontal wooden beams, creating secure connections between the planks. These notches are carefully carved to fit the intersecting pieces perfectly, allowing them to interlock securely and form the framework for the windows. He gathers more stones and heads down the hillside to collect soil and sand. Once he has everything he needs, he mixes the sand, soil, and water together, carefully combining the materials to create a strong, cohesive mixture. This binding mixture is essential for ensuring the stability and durability of the structure, providing the necessary foundation for the next steps in construction. He crafts a small scoop from wood, shaping it carefully to fit his needs. The wooden scoop is lightweight, yet sturdy, perfect for gathering and transferring the binding mixture. At the base of the wall, where the stone meets the timber frame, he began building a small kitchen. This corner of the house became the perfect place for a rustic kitchen. A mixture of earth and stone was carefully placed to form a solid foundation for the kitchen, ensuring it was securely positioned and integrated well with the surrounding structure. Once the firebox portion of the stove was built, he began raising the structure to the desired height. He then created a space for the chimney, locating the opening on the outside of the wall. This allowed the smoke to safely exit the house. He begins by cutting the wood into short lengths, each piece carefully sized for the task at hand. With the pieces prepared, he starts constructing the walls, stacking the logs on top of one another. Each layer is securely fastened together, using the mud mixture he had made earlier, binding the logs firmly and creating a solid structure. As he continues to build, he leaves spaces between the logs where the window and door frames had already been prepared. These gaps will allow for the installation of windows and doors later, ensuring they fit perfectly within the wooden frame. Step by step, the walls rise, with each log placed and secured carefully to create a stable, natural enclosure. One of the window frames he designed was circular, so he carefully shaped the wooden slats to create a curved bottom. The wood was gently bent to fit the desired circle, ensuring it aligned perfectly with the overall design. For the upper part of the window, he used flexible vines, bending them into a curve that mirrors the wooden arch below. This vine curve not only serves as a natural and aesthetic feature, but also serves as a solid base for building the next layers of wooden structure above the window frame. After completing the curved window frame, he continues stacking the wooden logs to fill in the gaps above the frame. Each piece is carefully positioned, ensuring a tight fit as he works his way up the wall. The logs are secured with the mud mixture, binding them together to create a strong and stable structure. He begins by carefully peeling the bark off a long, thick piece of wood, revealing the rough, smooth wood underneath. This process requires patience and precision, as he ensures that the entire length of the board is free of rough outer layers, revealing its natural beauty. Once the wood is completely stripped, he takes a saw and begins cutting the plank into smaller, evenly sized pieces. Each cut is made with care, ensuring that every section is uniform in size and shape. With the smaller pieces prepared, he begins the delicate task of placing them around the circular window frame. He arranges the pieces meticulously, making sure they follow the curve of the frame perfectly. Next, he moves on to building the door frame. He carefully measures and cuts wooden beams to create a sturdy rectangular frame for the entrance. Each piece is securely attached at the corners, forming a solid outline for the door. He saws the wood into pieces the width of the door. After sawing, he strips away the rough outer bark, smoothing the wood to reveal its natural texture. He then carefully cuts the wood into smaller sections, shaping them to the dimensions required for the door design. Once the wooden slats are securely attached to the door frame, he carefully lifts the completed door. With steady hands, he aligns it with the main door frame, ensuring the hinges are properly positioned. He added door handles to both sides and a door latch. He moved on to a square window frame, adding a wooden border around the edges to give it a clean, finished look. Once the frame was complete, he secured a piece of glass or clear plastic to the window, making sure it fits snugly against the border. To keep the glass securely in place, he used 2 wooden bars arranged in a cross pattern in the middle of the window. He did the same with a round window, but didn't need to add a border because the round frame had already been bordered. With a broom in hand, he sweeps the dirt and leaves from the yard, carefully collecting debris that has gathered over time. On the outside of the main house, he decides to build a small shelter for his dog, thinking of a place where his furry friend can have a cozy and secure space. He uses simple wooden planks to construct the frame, keeping the design minimal yet functional. The structure is square-shaped, with each corner carefully aligned to ensure stability. The front of the doghouse remains open, providing easy access and ventilation, which will keep the interior fresh and comfortable for the dog, especially during warmer days. The roof is designed with a sharp sloped peak, providing an aesthetic look while also serving a practical purpose. This sloped design ensures that rainwater runs off easily, keeping the interior dry and preventing any water from accumulating on top. The roof is made from sturdy wooden beams and covered with a protective layer to ensure it lasts through various weather conditions. Each wooden plank is securely nailed into place, with the sides tightly joined together to create a solid and durable structure. Inside, the doghouse remains simple, with enough space for the dog to lie down comfortably and feel safe. He begins by selecting several sturdy wooden planks to form the surface of the table. Carefully arranging them side by side, he securely fastens them together, ensuring the surface is even and strong. After assembling the table top, he moved on to attaching it to the front of the square window frame. To ensure the table was stable, he added 2 wooden legs to the outer edges, securing them firmly to the table base. He decided to make a matching chair to complement the table. He crafted the backrest, making sure it was high enough to provide comfortable support. Using solid wood, he started by cutting the pieces for the chair legs and assembling them with the backrest. He continued by attaching wooden planks to the chair frame to create the seat surface of the chair. He carefully measured each plank, making sure they fit perfectly on the frame. Using nails, he secured each plank securely in place. He decides to add a wooden bar above the window, creating a simple yet functional storage solution. He decides to build a small birdcage, inspired by the doghouse he previously built, but on a smaller scale. Using the same simple design, he constructs a compact square frame made of sturdy wood. The structure is smaller, with just enough room for a bird to perch comfortably inside. Instead of a wide open front like the doghouse, he designs the birdcage with a round window at the front, allowing for better visibility and ventilation for the bird. The roof is also sloped, like the doghouse, to keep water from collecting, providing a protective shelter for the bird. He selected a long, sturdy piece of wood and began by carefully peeling away the bark, revealing the smooth wood underneath. Once the wood was prepared, he attached the small birdcage to the top. He dug a small hole in the ground right in front of the house. With steady hands, he placed the bottom of the wooden post into the hole, making sure it was securely positioned. The birdcage was now placed on top, bringing a touch of nature and life to the front of the house. He decides to build an outdoor cooking area on the side of the house, expanding the functionality of the space. He gathers stones and begins constructing a rectangular stone structure, carefully placing each stone on top of the other to form the walls of the cooking space. The stones are selected for their durability and stability, ensuring the structure will hold up to the heat of outdoor cooking. He moves to the area next to the stairs, where the soil needs some attention. With careful hands, he digs a small hole in the earth, clearing away any rocks or debris. Once the hole is prepared, he plants a small tree or plant into the freshly dug soil, making sure the roots are properly spread out. After placing the plant in the hole, he gently covers it with soil, packing it down to ensure stability. He lit the outdoor stove, the flames flickering as it started. He carefully arranged a few skewers of meat and vegetables on the stove, making sure they cook evenly over the burning flames. Once the food is perfectly cooked, he sits down at a nearby table, savoring the delicious meal he's just prepared. After finishing his meal, he returns to his work with renewed energy, determined to create a relaxing space to enjoy the surroundings. He decides to build a small deck that extends out from the house, offering a perfect spot to relax and take in the view. He started by laying the foundation for the deck, carefully digging holes in the ground to anchor the wooden posts. Once the holes were ready, he placed the wooden posts in the ground, making sure they were spaced properly and securely anchored to the ground. He connected the top of the post to the main deck with crossbars. The beams are securely fastened, providing a solid structure for the future floor. As he works, he makes sure everything is level, checking the alignment of each post and beam. He further reinforced the structure, adding cross braces underneath. These angle pieces were positioned to provide additional support and stability to the frame. He adds horizontal wooden planks to connect the tops of the posts, creating the outline of the deck. He carefully measures each plank to ensure they align perfectly across the structure. He takes several long wooden planks and begins to split them down the middle, creating thinner, more manageable pieces for the deck surface. Carefully, he measures and cuts each plank to fit the space, making sure they align perfectly along the frame. He begins by placing the wooden planks directly onto the frame of the deck, ensuring they fit snugly together with no gaps. Carefully, he arranges each plank in a straight line, making sure the edges align perfectly. Once the planks are positioned, he starts securing them to the frame with nails, driving them in firmly to hold each piece in place. As he works, he checks the alignment of the planks to make sure they stay even across the entire surface. The nails hold the planks securely, and the deck surface gradually becomes more solid and stable with each additional plank. He decides to build a large, comfortable chair with a curved backrest that rises gracefully, offering both style and support. He begins by constructing a sturdy wooden frame, carefully measuring and cutting the pieces to form the seat, legs, and the frame of the backrest. The structure is strong, and he ensures the joints are securely fastened for durability. He adds horizontal slats across the backrest, placing them closely together, ensuring they cover the entire surface. Each slat is fastened tightly, contributing to the overall strength and comfort of the chair. The backrest now has a smooth, uniform appearance, with the slats offering both support and aesthetic appeal. With the backrest completed, the chair is well on its way to becoming a comfortable, beautiful piece of furniture. To increase the safety of the deck and add a decorative touch, he decides to build a sturdy railing around the entire perimeter. The railing not only adds an extra layer of safety for anyone using the deck, but also elevates the overall aesthetic of the space, making it feel more enclosed and secure while offering a beautiful view of the surroundings. Once the railing is fully constructed and secure, he decides to add some decorative touches to make it stand out and enhance its visual appeal. To complete the relaxing space, he decided to add a cozy touch by placing a small tea table next to the chair. Now, flooring is not only functional, but also attractive, providing a comfortable place to sit, relax, and enjoy a cup of tea or coffee. And with that, his house is finally complete. Thank you all for joining him on this incredible journey. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming projects. Goodbye and see you again.